women are judged very harshly when they show anger. But when Black women show anger, it is catastrophic. You know, that becomes, right? That becomes the thing that they're known for their entire, I mean, it's awful. But I still say to Black women, we have to keep showing anger. One day it will become ordinary because we're human. So I think, yeah, I mean, so for me, storytelling is really, yes, about that voice. It's so important to me. God gave me this voice, I will use it. And using it, I think one of the things that I find most, the thing that makes me happiest, really, about my work is when a woman says to me, reading you or listening to you made me speak.
Wow.
It makes my whole, like, it makes me so happy and hyper. It's the best high.
Wow. Yeah, because you're teaching women to use their voice and to speak. I think we find that in so many places in the world. I mean, even we talk about this in, you know, settings in the workplace. You know, a man will talk often over a woman or re-say her point, you know, and it takes all of us to say, no, no, she was speaking. No, we heard that point already, right? I mean, these feel like small things, but they do add up over time.
They matter.
And I think we all have to be able to speak our truth if we're really going to change society.
Yeah. And in that kind of setting, what you said about speaking over the woman, sometimes when the woman says, hey, I was speaking, somebody says, oh, she's being a bitch.
Yeah.
So she gets labeled for insisting on her space. And I think that sometimes holds women back. But I really think it's important for us to be willing to take on those consequences. Because that person who has that attitude is really silly and is inconsequential. Right? If somebody thinks that a woman should be given a bad name because she speaks, then that person isn't really worth considering, right? I mean,
I have a friend, a long-term friend who I've worked with for a long time, and one of the things she's always said is, why is it okay for men to get angry in society, and it's not okay for women to get angry nor to cry? Like, we're not supposed to cry if we're in the workplace, and yet I believe male, and I have lots of males that I adore in my life, but I believe we have a full range of human emotions, and yes, we have to try and keep them in check at certain things. You don't want everybody going around yelling at each other, but sometimes anger has a role, right? It helps you change or create change, and if channeled right. So maybe that's the conclusion of our panel, which is, you know, women have voices. It's not that somebody needs to give us our voice. We have our voices, but we have to use them fully and not let anyone hold us back. That, and as we were talking about earlier in the session, you know, decision-making authority, bodily autonomy, resources at our disposal, you know, not being the ones that are just recipient of good policy, but I want women at the seats of the table making policy for women.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.